Welcome back to Unlocked, guys. Thanks for listening. I wanted to give you a shout out if you've been listening for a little bit. I really appreciate it. It takes more effort than when you're at the other end of the speaker and you are hearing podcasts. You know, I'm a podcast listener as well. And I never think about the effort that it takes for the person that produces it and all the work that goes behind the scenes. Even though that's also what I do here, I never think about it when I'm listening to one. I'm just consuming the information and actually judging, is this good or bad? And I don't really think of the other person. But it does take work and it does take effort. It takes majorly consistency. I want to talk a little bit about habits. And we talked not that long ago about pointing the thumb versus pointing the finger. It is a great season to be in business. Things are going great. Thank you. If you can click the subscribe button, if you can share this on your Slack channel or on your GroupMe, WhatsApp, whatever method you use, it really helps us grow organically to our Unlocked audience. So we talked not that long ago about pointing the thumb and learning to be accountable so that you can embrace a leadership role and you can grow your people that follow you, can grow the leaders that follow you. The reason I wanted to bring this up and tie it to personal habits is because I was thinking here with Philly how fun it's going to be. We have a book club trip coming up where we're taking all of our readers, and the only qualifications to be a reader. We basically got like a celebrity's mansion in La Jolla, California, and San Diego, and we're going for 3 nights to just have fun, have a little bit of talk about the business, and understand what's going into that. And I think it's going to be great. The reason I was thinking about consistency and habits and pointing the thumb at yourself is because I think that a lot of times you look at people and where they're at. So this is like how personal habits can help you. I think personal habits can really help you identify who it is that you need to be around with and who it is that you need to talk to, because somebody with great personal habits in one area most likely is very consistent in another area. So I'll give you an extreme example. Somebody, and again, this is not a fact, it's not a science, but somebody that is going to church consistently and really preaching their relationship with the Lord. They're also volunteering in a million things and they're giving a bunch of money away. They have a very close relationship to their parents and to their family, and they have a very giving lifestyle. That person that has all those personal habits is very unlikely to randomly also at night be cheating on their wife. Now, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. But the thing is, personal habits reveal something. And when people have bad personal habits, it reveals something. I want to talk about some personal habits that you might not think of habits that I do. Low sales and low performance. You're Richard, but that's a performance thing. How is that? It's a habit. If somebody has low sales, they're in the habit of doing low sales, they're in the habit of low performing. It doesn't tell me that they just have a bad sales ability. It tells me there are other habits that are in their life that are low as well, that are low performing as well. That sometimes helps me fix them faster. Sometimes fixing somebody in their sales ability is difficult. But if I see a low performing trend, okay, it's basically going, down and to the right. Fixing that could be difficult. What I want you to do is analyze when somebody has a low performing habit, you should assume, and again, it's not a science, but you should assume there are other lower performing habits. That person's probably not the most prepared. That person's probably not always on time. That person is probably not the most studious. That person probably doesn't have and again, it goes to preparation, but they don't have a habit of maybe preparing the night before, studying. Instead, they're doing something else, maybe doom scrolling or mindless TV. When somebody has a bad habit and I don't know what to do to fix it, it's very common for them to have other bad habits because, again, they're just in a habit of low performing. So I look at other areas of their life that might be easier to fix. When somebody's very overweight and I see their performance going down and down and down, they're gaining more and more weight, their health is going down and down, I can assume they probably have a low food choice habit. I can assume they probably have a low activity habit during the day. They probably don't, walk enough or move enough. And so sometimes instead of just fixing their food and their diet, it might be easier to tell them to do, 5 or maybe 10,000 steps a day, actually. Why? Because personal habits leave clues on who the person is. When you have somebody that's going into the gym in the morning, they're reading a book at night, they are dressed to impress, and they are prepared to make a good impact. Could they still suck at their job in sales? They could, but they probably don't. And again, it's not a science. So I want you to think about, hey, people that are accountable, that point the thumb, people that have good personal habits. Sometimes you meet a successful person and you immediately think that their personal habits, like people sometimes meet me at this level and I'm not anywhere near close where I want to be. People ask me about my personal habits and they kind of connect that with my results today. And it's funny, a lot of my personal habits were birthed way after. And if you attach my personal habits today to my success today, it's kind of like it's not simultaneous, if that makes sense. But somebody's personal habits will tell you a lot about other areas of their life, again, because people usually repeat themselves. You think about how the FBI or the police work. Every time they find, somebody committed a crime and they find proof, or if they don't have proof, what they usually do is they follow the trends and they realize, you know what, we don't have proof, but we think this person did this. If they've done it once, chances are it's not the first time. If you've eaten a Kit Kat before, chances are it's not the first time. Could it be the first time? Yes, but chances are it's not the first time. Usually, people don't get caught at whatever they do on their first try. So what I want to help you identify is sometimes you're just breaking your brain. You're not sure where to attack the issue. And you're attacking the most visual and superficial issue, the lack of sales, the lack of growth, the lack of recruiting, the lack of the actual number on the chart. But what it's a lot easier is to assume, you know what, there's probably things that are holding you back that are different. It's really hard for somebody to have a great work life and then they go home and they have a really bad personal home life. Really hard if somebody has a crappy attitude at work. It's extremely difficult to assume that they have a fantastic marriage and family growing at home. Now, if somebody has a fantastic marriage, a fantastic home life, they come to work and they're extremely happy, that would make sense. Again, it's not a science, but it tells you a lot. So I want to challenge all of you to think about not just personal habits in the chart you see or the number you see of somebody, but what does that reveal about their other personal habits? They are probably in line. And that's how sometimes you can get underneath the surface, underneath the sheets, if you will, and help people accomplish the next level of their leadership. And you're getting underneath the surface level because personal habits usually reveal trends and they're consistent. Normally, people don't get caught on their first time. Hopefully, you can use that for your team development. Hopefully, you can use that into the next conversation you go into, and you don't just shoot straight analyze the number or whatever you're looking at. You assume there are other areas in life, and I promise you, you'll see success. It's been very helpful for me to make that assumption. And again, it's not a science, but it always gets you closer to the truth and helps you help people in other areas of their life. Hopefully that helps, and we'll see you at the next one.